What's up, it's King Steph, and I want to come at you with a discussion video for Jujutsu Kaisen because I'm not gonna lie, it's been on my mind recently after reading the last chapter, and I was really just going over the idea of special grade sorcerers, but more so just the idea of special grade at this current point that we're at, especially with these recent chapters of Yuta going up against the past generation or the past eras of special grade sorcerers. Now, I talked about it more so a little bit like very sporadically whenever it come up in the chapters, but when Ryu and Takako, Kurorushi, and Druv, they were all pretty much ranked as special grade, especially Kurorushi because he was a special grade curse from Kenjaku. Now, one thing that I kind of thought about was it's interesting to think of how Yuta is a special grade as well, but it feels like he's so above them. So when you have an older generation, now a lot of us look at people like Ryu. There were some of us, in the comment section, I did see some people who didn't know if Ryu was officially like a special grade or Takako was special grade, but they're special grade for their time. Bring them into this generation, they're looked at pretty differently. Because one thing about our current special grades that we have right now, in common, they all have extremely versatile movesets in strength, curse energy, and all around physical prowess. And speaking of the new generation, let's just go ahead and get this topic out the way. Gojo did say super early in the series, I believe around around chapter 11 to 13 of the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, that Gojo says there will be a day where the new generation of sorcerers will not be limited to special grade level, and we're kind of seeing that right now unfold in the manga. Obviously, I mentioned, of course, that we got Yuta. We all know Yuta is incredibly powerful. He's basically top 4, right around Geto, Sukuna, and Gojo in terms of strength. I don't see him going anywhere below that. But let's just talk about like the other sorcerers that we have in mind when it comes to these higher level of special grade. Even Gojo, he calls himself special grade, but I just can't see him simply being at that. It feels like he's above a regular special grade. And obviously we know Infinity, Hollow Purple, the whole shebang with Gojo. He's incredibly strong. You would need like 5 regular special grade sorcerers to even attempt to take him down, it feels like. But not even sorcerers like I said, imagine Sukuna. He's the king of curses, but he's ranked at special grade. Now at about 15 or so fingers, I forget the exact numbers, it's 15 plus fingers that Sukuna is at right now. He is way above the average special grade listing. I mean, he's literally the king of curses. He's basically, look at it like this. He is in the same rank as a Sukuna finger bearer. And those things are automatically special grade because they have Sukuna's power. And just that idea, or that whole, imagine that picture of a finger bearer and Sukuna and they're both in the same bracket, especially if it's 20 fingers Sukuna. Like that just, I'm glad that's kind of, it kind of made me think of that because it's kind of a wild statement to think of. So there eventually should be later in the series. I don't know when, because I don't know when this is even going to be tackled. There should be a rank above special grade. Now, the name for it, there's like so many names you can come up with. You can maybe get like a supreme grade, or I don't know, super elite. Like, I don't know. Like, you got to come up with something that's above special grade. And I can't wait to see eventually if that does get tackled. And one of my favorite parts even about talking about this whole special grade thing and there being a future rank is the idea that the Jujutsu higher ups, or the headquarters, whatever they want to be called, they keep it really traditional. There's nothing above special grade. There never is going to be. That's how we kind of keep it. Grade 1, grade 2. We all know about the whole ranking. And Gojo telling them that, hey, if you thought I was a problem and I'm annoying, wait until you find out that there's going to be special grade sorcerers that potentially are stronger than me, and they're not going to listen to anything you say. So I think even in general, when they go to talk about these ranks, just imagine that you go out, you're sorcerer, they tell you, okay, things have turned into a special grade level crisis, we're going to send you out there. Just imagine you go out there expecting, okay, a special grade, I gotta be focused, anything can happen, people are risking their lives. All of a sudden you realize that, oh, this thing is not regular special grade, because this thing can wipe out an entire city with one move. I don't think this is a regular special grade. So that's like a topic I wish that was kind of, talked about a little bit more later on when they get the chance. Because I mean, I don't think they'll ever get a chance to really talk about that. Because I mean, the manga, we all know it's just chaos right now. But let's get into the sorcerers that I can see either reaching special grade or becoming that above special grade level. Obviously, we talk about Jujutsu, so I don't need to go over him. But I feel like someone like Megami, for example, he's of course going to reach a special grade level. He's been built up to eventually match that. My thing is, he can easily eclipse it depending on Maharaga, because we know Maharaga was one of the main reasons why a Six Eyes user like Gojo back in the past, the former clan leader, lost to a Fushigoro's shadow user. So we know Maharaga is like one of the apexes of special grades, and all of his abilities, especially that adapting to an opponent's moves like in a blink of an eye, like it's incredibly strong. So if he can ever master that, which even that, I feel like he's gonna have a hard time mastering that whenever he's going to, because I think he has to basically beat the spirit in order to fully tame it. But if he can do that, it's kind of like, okay, I can see Megami being that above supreme level or whatever special grade rank. So I think he's going to he can reach that apex, even though Gojo ironically doesn't really say he's a part of that. He kind of talks about that only with him. I find that kind of interesting. Another character is Sakari. I can't wait to see what he's got coming up. But in one of the Gojo rants where he kind of talks about his students, that he is like incredibly, I know these guys are going to be great. They're going to be better than me. When he goes and talk about them, Hakari was one of the ones that were brought up. And I believe, we haven't seen him, but I'm imagining Hakari is already kind of tampering with that special grade sorcerer. Obviously, we have to see him in action until we can, fully say, okay, he's definitely special grade. They just don't want to give him a rank because they don't respect him. But I'm anticipating him to be at that level if he's been put up there with Yuta multiple times. So we can only assume that Hakari is going to be one of those apex of Jujutsu sorcery. And then the other one I was really interested to talking about was, before I get into that, was Todo. Todo was also put in that category with Yuta and Yuji, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, because unless he gets like a prosthetic or something like that with his hand, I don't see him being, honestly, I don't see Todo being a special grade sorcerer if he can't use his boogie woogie. If he can't, I just don't see it. He's going to be limited at special grade, or grade 1, and that's kind of going to suck, because I feel like everybody loves Todo, and he's one of those characters to where when we see him, we all lose our minds. But if he doesn't get his hand recovered, or some type of substitute for it, I just can't see him being a special grade, even though he's got all of the tools to be one of the best sorcerers just in general, and he doesn't even have an OP technique. Just imagine if he had something like I don't know, like a copy or a Hollow Purple, just imagine if Todo had something like that. He'd be unstoppable. But the character I wanted to talk about potentially reaching special grade was actually Yuji. Now, Yuji, we know hopefully he becomes special grade by the end of the series, because we know, if you know anything about Yuji as a character, nothing is really set in stone for him. A lot of it is basically hoping he survives to the point where he can get to see these things, if he doesn't get killed off or something like that by Sukuna. But can Yuji, where he's at right now, reach special grade? No, that's just because no curse technique. He doesn't have these anomaly level power gaps or strengths that where he could just overwhelm a special grade curse. He doesn't have that. He has to do basically the hard work. He can only use his hands. He's got obviously divergent fist. He's incredibly physically strong. He's top 5 in terms of just pure physical prowess and just durability and all that. But like, if for example, if Yuji was to go up against someone like Jogo, and where he's at right now, I'm sorry, Jogo is body bagging Yuji. That's just not happening. But we do know Yuji's going to eventually get Sukuna's techniques, or one of them to say the least. And I think whichever technique he gets from Sukuna, that's when he's going to be special grade, because Sukuna doesn't have a single weak technique in his arsenal, I suppose. So the day he gets that, it's a wrap. He's definitely going to be special grade. But another character I was interested about talking about potential ranking is actually Maki. I have no idea where I want to put her yet, And that's just off the fact that in the massacre, the Zenin clan, no one was above a grade 1. And I'd love to see Maki, whenever she comes into the Culling game, go up against like a past sorcerer that's special grade, or at least a special grade curse that's listed as that, like official special grade, and she has to go against that. I'd love to see that so I can fully see if Maki is special grade, because we know it's Toji, even without a curse energy or any curse techniques, he was easily special grade. He was one of the strongest characters in the series, or sorcerers in general. So if Maki can reach that, and she doesn't have 0 curse energy, she has a little bit of it, but if she can get to that point, I think that would be great for her character. And right now I think she's grade 1, and she might, I gotta see a little bit more to see if she's special grade or not, but I think Maki can definitely be a special grade sorcerer, especially right now, and she be the second female special grade sorcerer compared to Yuki, who we have no idea what she can do at all. We know she has a Shinigami or Shikigami. We don't know what it does, but I'm just gonna assume that thing is busted if she's one of the 4 official special grade sorcerers ranked. But that's all I have in regards to just talking about the whole special grade ranking and possibly it being a rank above later in the future of the series. But honestly, I just can't wait to see the growth of the sorcerers that we have right now, or even the ones that we haven't seen, reveal to us what they could do, especially later on. Can't wait. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Peace.